How many times has wisdom called out to you, yet you have turned away? How often have you ignored the warning signs along your path, believing that you knew better? I tell you this, the road to destruction is not sudden. It is built with small, repeated acts of arrogance. A man does not fall into ruin in a single day. He ignores wisdom's voice once, then twice, then 100 times, until the sound of correction is nothing more than a distant whisper. He rejects the words of his father, dismisses the counsel of his elders, and scorns the wisdom of God himself. And so, his path is set, not by a single wrong turn, but by the slow and steady erosion of truth in his heart. Consider the man who refuses to heed instruction. At first, his choices may seem harmless. He walks a little closer to temptation, lingers a little longer in the company of fools, dismisses a small correction from someone wiser than him. He tells himself, I am in control, I know what I am doing. But wisdom is not mocked. What begins as a single drop of neglect soon becomes a flood of destruction. A king does not rise by chance, nor does he fall by accident. I, Solomon, have seen both, the rise of the wise and the downfall of the foolish. And I tell you, the difference between them is this. The wise man listens, but the fool refuses. The wise man welcomes correction, but the fool despises it. The wise man considers his steps, but the fool rushes forward without thought. Look at the simple man who ignores wisdom's rebuke. He is like one who builds his house on sand, ignoring the warnings of the storm. When the winds come and the waters rise, his foundation crumbles beneath him. And in that moment when all is lost, he will say, why did no one warn me? But he was warned, many times. He simply refused to listen. Even the strongest tree, if left untended, will one day fall. If a man will not accept correction, his downfall is certain. But wisdom is still calling. She raises her voice at the city gates, pleading with those who will listen. Will you turn your ear to her, or will you harden your heart? The fool says, I know best. The wise man says, teach me. Which one are you? Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. Ecclesiastes 5:10. Gold glitters, but it does not give light. Silver shines, but it does not bring warmth. Many men have spent their lives chasing after wealth, believing that in it they will find security, honor, and peace. But I tell you this, riches without wisdom are a curse, not a blessing. A man who gains wealth without purpose is like one who drinks salt water. It only deepens his thirst, never quenching it. I have seen kings and beggars alike, and I have known both the splendor of riches and the emptiness of abundance. No man in history has possessed greater wealth than I. Yet in the end I declared, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. For what is gold to a soul without peace? What are riches to a man who has lost his way? Many believe that if only they had more, they would finally be satisfied. But the pursuit of wealth for its own sake is a trap. It will take a man farther than he intended to go, demand more than he was willing to give, and leave him emptier than when he began. He will work endlessly thinking, just a little more, and then I will rest. But rest never comes, because the love of money is a fire that never says enough. The man who chases wealth without purpose will compromise his integrity for gain. He will make dishonest deals, betray his own values, and sacrifice his peace for the illusion of prosperity. But what has he truly gained? A full purse and an empty soul, a rich table and a lonely heart. He has won the world but lost himself. Do you think wealth will bring you security? Consider this. Riches grow wings and fly away. The market rises and falls. Thieves break in and steal. Disaster strikes when least expected. If your trust is in gold, then your security is an illusion, for gold cannot protect you from the uncertainties of life. But wisdom? Wisdom is a fortress that no enemy can breach. True wealth is not measured in gold and silver, but in wisdom, righteousness, and the fear of the Lord. A poor man with wisdom is richer than a fool with a fortune, for wisdom leads to peace, but wealth without wisdom leads only to ruin. Do not be deceived. Money is a tool, not a god. It can serve you, but it cannot save you. So I ask you, Are you chasing wealth or are you chasing purpose? If you seek only riches, you will find only emptiness. But if you seek wisdom, wealth will come as a servant, not a master. Choose wisely, for the path you walk will determine your end. A man's words are like a seed planted in the earth. What he sows, he will surely reap. A single careless sentence can ruin friendships, destroy reputations, and bring a lifetime of regret. Yet the fool speaks without thought, believing that words vanish into the air, leaving no trace. But I tell you the truth, every word spoken is like an arrow loosed from a bow. It cannot be taken back, and it will strike its target, whether for good or for harm. Consider the man who speaks before thinking. His tongue is swift, but his mind is slow. He believes his opinions must be heard, his anger must be expressed, and his wit must be admired. But wisdom does not rush to speak. Wisdom listens. The fool blurts out whatever comes to his heart, not realizing that his words reveal his nature. A wise man is measured in speech, knowing that silence often carries more weight than 1,000 reckless words. Have you not seen how a single whisper can ruin a reputation? How a careless insult can wound deeper than a sword? How a moment of uncontrolled anger can burn bridges that took years to build? The fool speaks in haste and later asks for forgiveness, but the damage is already done. Words once spoken cannot be undone. Even when forgiven, they are remembered. The tongue is a small part of the body, yet it has the power to set entire nations on fire. A king who speaks without wisdom will bring ruin to his land. A father who speaks without thought will wound the hearts of his children. A friend who speaks carelessly will turn brother against brother. And a man who lies, flatters, or gossips will soon find himself alone, despised by all who once trusted him. But consider the power of words used wisely. A single sentence of encouragement can lift a man from despair. A well-spoken rebuke can save a friend from disaster. A gentle answer can turn away wrath, and a word of wisdom can change the course of a life. The wise man guards his tongue as a warrior guards his sword, for he knows that the sharpest blade is not made of steel, but of speech. Do not be quick with your words. Do not let anger drive your tongue. Do not use your mouth to tear others down, for in the end, you will destroy yourself. The fool's mouth is his own ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. But the wise man speaks with purpose, measuring each word as a jeweler weighs gold. So I ask you, do your words build up or do they destroy? Do they bring life or do they bring death? Be careful what you say, for one day you will eat the fruit of your own tongue. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. Proverbs 14:15. A man is shaped not only by his own choices, but by the company he keeps. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. Show me whom you trust, and I will tell you whether you will rise or fall. For just as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. But beware, for a dull blade cannot sharpen anything, and a corrupt friend will not make you wise. Many have been ruined, not by their own foolishness, but by the foolishness of those they trusted. They placed their confidence in those who smiled to their face, but plotted behind their back. They opened their heart to those who whispered sweet words but carried deceit in their spirit. And when destruction came, they asked, "How did this happen?" But the signs were there all along. A fool trusts blindly, believing that all who show kindness are true. But wisdom teaches caution. Not everyone who calls you brother is your friend. Not everyone who praises you in public is loyal in private. Some walk with you only because of what they can gain. Others stay close, waiting for a moment to strike. The scorpion and the serpent both move silently before they attack. Consider the fate of those who place their trust in the wrong hands. The mighty Samson was brought low because he trusted Delilah. She spoke words of love, yet she sought his ruin. He ignored the warnings, believing that her affections were genuine, and in the end he lost his strength, his freedom, and his life. Do not think you are stronger than Samson. If you trust the wrong person, your fall is only a matter of time. A ruler who trusts corrupt counselors will see his kingdom crumble. A merchant who partners with the dishonest will lose his wealth. A man who marries a woman without wisdom will turn his home into a battlefield. Trust once given can lead either to great blessing or great destruction. This is why the wise test the hearts of those around them before placing their confidence in them. A true friend is like a rare jewel, valuable, hard to find, and proven by fire. Do not trust a man simply because he speaks well. Do not rely on one who flatters you, for his words are a net to trap you. The one who corrects you with honesty is of greater worth than the one who always agrees with you. The one who remains when you have nothing is the one who deserves to stand beside you when you have much. So ask yourself, who is in your circle? Are you walking with the wise, or have you surrounded yourself with fools? Are your friends sharpening you or dulling your spirit? Trust is a treasure. Give it carefully, for if placed in the wrong hands, it will be used against you. A man may build great wealth, gain power, and win the admiration of the world, but if he does not fear the Lord, his foundation is built on sand. His achievements will crumble, his name will fade, and in the end, he will realize, too late, that he has wasted his life. There is no greater mistake than living without reverence for the one who holds all things in his hands. The fool says in his heart, "There is no God," or worse, he believes in God, but lives as though he does not see. He makes his own rules, follows his own desires, and does what is right in his own eyes. But a life without the fear of the Lord is a life without wisdom, for wisdom begins with acknowledging him. I, Solomon, was given wisdom beyond measure. I ruled over Israel with wealth and splendor unmatched. Kings and queens traveled from distant lands to hear my words and behold my prosperity. Yet in my later years I turned away from the Lord, allowing my heart to be led astray by foreign women and false gods. I built temples to idols, thinking my kingdom was secure. But no kingdom, no fortune, no wisdom can stand apart from the fear of the Lord. My own heart became my downfall. If the wisest of men can stumble, how much more the one who never sought wisdom at all? The fear of the Lord is not mere terror. It is reverence, humility, and obedience. It is knowing that he is the source of all things, that his ways are higher than ours, and that without him we are nothing. To fear the Lord is to hate evil, to walk in righteousness, and to submit to his wisdom rather than our own understanding. Many men chase after knowledge but ignore its foundation. They study the stars but reject the one who placed them in the heavens. They build towers of intellect but refuse to bow before the God who gives them breath. They seek success but neglect the only one who can establish their steps. In the end, they are like travelers who set sail without a compass, thinking they will reach their destination by their own wisdom. But a ship without direction is doomed to be lost at sea. A man who does not fear the Lord may prosper for a time, but his end is ruin. His confidence will turn to shame, his achievements will become dust, and he will stand before the judge of all the earth with nothing to offer but regrets. But the one who fears the Lord walks in safety. His steps are ordered, his wisdom is secure, and even in times of trial he has peace. For he knows that the fear of the Lord is not a burden, it is the path to true life. So I ask you, do you walk in the fear of the Lord, or do you live as though he does not matter? Do you acknowledge him in your ways, or do you trust in your own wisdom? Be warned, neglecting the fear of the Lord is the greatest mistake a man can make. For in the end, every knee will bow before him,